So, is the Apple Watch Workout Buddy a useful training tool, or is it just a gimmick from the Cupertino company? In this video, I'm going to show you how I've used it over the last 4 months and what my opinion is. So I downloaded Workout Buddy way back in June, the developer beta version, and started using it from then. And I've been using it through the developer beta, through the public beta, and now into the official release of Watch OS 26. It's fair to say that when it first came out in the developer beta, and acceptably so, it wasn't particularly useful. The interface was okay, the watch, but the actual information it was giving you, um, at best, was suspect. And also, it was very hit and miss on the information it gave you and at what intervals it gave you them at. For example, it would quite often tell me that I'd run a personal best 5K, 10K, and run the furthest elevation that I've ever run, and do this on a regular basis. And clearly this wasn't the case. Sometimes it's telling me I'd done a 5K record and I was on a recovery run. So it really did struggle in those early days. I'm pleased to say that over time it has improved. So now there's a standard sort of set of information that it'll give you. And that's normally when you start off your activity, certainly when I'm running, it'll talk about your training load. It'll tell you your 7-day training load, what that's like against your 28-day training load, whether you're above it, steady, or below it, which is quite useful if you haven't had a chance to go and have a look yourself. It'll also list the alerts that you've got. So for example, I have a cadence alert set. It'll tell me I've got that set. If I have a pace alert set, it'll tell me that as well. And then it gives you a little bit of encouragement for your run and tells you how many activities you completed so far that week. Or it might say, this is your third run of the week. So that's the sort of thing it'll give you up front. Then you very much don't hear from it until the first kilometre, or in my case, the first mile. And after that, you then get a standard set of reports, and it's quite short, the report. So it tells you your average pace and your average heart rate. Occasionally, it'll tell you what song you're listening to. It used to do that back in the beginning. It used to tell you every mile, it would tell me what song I was listening to. It's not particularly useful because I either know what songs I'm listening to, or if I'm on a playlist that I'm just choosing at random, the chances I'll either know the song, and if I don't, I just ask Siri what the song is if I want to know it anyway. They've cut right back on that. It'll perhaps tell me once or twice in an 8-mile run now. So now we're into the official release of Workout Buddy, and it has become quite stable. There is still some bugs, or I'm finding there's still some bugs as well. And these are, for example, if I go out for a run and I listen to music that's on my watch, not from the phone, it will struggle to give me my the startup, what alerts I've got set, etc., etc. And I won't actually hear from it until the end of mile 1. So that seems to be a bug. So I have to start music on my phone to make sure I'm listening to music coming through my phone and it hasn't switched to my watch. Otherwise, I do get a bug. Be interesting to know if anyone else has come across that. Let me know in the comments if you have. The other thing I found recently, and this is still with the actual released version, is at the end of a workout, it can take a long, long time to get the summary. And the summary is one of the things I found really useful after a run. You usually come back, you're cooling down, and to hear that summary rather than have to go and scroll through the watch and find it was really useful. It seems to be working out in the background, but at the minute, it never tells me. I've taken my headphones out and gone and had a shower before it's even started to tell me about my summary. So I think that's something that they'll probably work on over the coming weeks. Might just be unique to me, and I'm on a Series 8 watch, so that could be the problem. So to answer the question from the thumbnail and right at the beginning, is this a gimmick or is this a really useful training tool? Well, if I give you an example of the information it's given me that's beyond just the normal stats it's given, which certainly I don't believe are AI generated. It's information I could get pick out from a spreadsheet. One thing it's given me is it told me I'd done 700 miles and it had taken me 94 activities to complete 700 miles running. Now, it didn't give me anything else than that, which surely it would have been quite easy for AI to give me some more information. So I had to go back and ask Siri to divide the two and see if that worked out close enough so I could see that what it was telling me was accurate. And to be fair, it did. So I generally run about just under 8 miles 3 times a week. The 700 divided by the 94 worked out about 7.4. So it was about right, considering that I have done some shorter runs. So I had no reason to think that was inaccurate. So maybe the accuracy's got better. It's not telling me I do 5K records, 10K records all the time, which is good. So maybe the overall data accuracy is increased. However, is this what Apple sort of promised us, which this would be AI, Apple Intelligence, reaching into your fitness history to give you up-to-date reports that would be useful in your training? And I don't think it is. I don't think it's particularly using Apple Intelligence, whatever that is. I don't think it's using that. I think this is just picking data points from your fitness history and then giving them to you. Some of the information, I mean, what it tells you after each mile, you can see on your wrist pretty much anyway. So I don't think it's giving you much in terms of that. The extra data that it's given me, again, it's picking values. It's picking a highest value, whether that be elevation, something like that. It's picking that out and just delivering it over your headphones through a synthesized voice. So I'm not sure at the minute whether it is really using Apple Intelligence. I could be wrong. What I would like to see is it to really get smart and help you with your training. For example, I'd like to tell it I want to do a tempo run just by selecting tempo run within the software. And as I'm running, for it to be looking back at how I run, my heart rate, my distances, etc., and then telling me whether I am doing a tempo run based on my history and whether I need to up my pace, whether I decrease my pace. That would be far more useful. Same times if I was doing a recovery run, telling me on the fly when I'm out running, is what I'm doing a recovery run based on my personal history? That to me would be something that was really useful. Now, I'm not saying that they are not going to do that in the future, and I understand this is the first time that they've introduced it. I have heard through various journalists who've spoken to people at Apple that this is the start and they do want to make it more focused. And that's what I've just said is what I would like to see. And I think that would be really helpful. At the minute, it's not. So answering the question, is it a gimmick? Is it a useful training tool? I'm sort of in between at the minute. I don't think it's a full-on gimmick, and I must admit that I quite enjoy getting the reports at the start, telling me what alerts I've got set. I like getting certainly the average heart rate report after every mile, and I did like getting, up until recently, the summary report at the end. So really useful, and I wouldn't like to be without it. Is it a useful training tool? Absolutely not. Not in my book. It's not telling me anything to help my training. So not a gimmick, but not a tool that I could use for helping me with my training. But hopefully in the future. If you've got any comments on Workout Buddy and any thoughts or any issues that you've had, please drop them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'm on about 93 subscribers, trying to get to the 100 mark. It'd be really nice if you could subscribe and get me over that 100 mark. I think I've put a description up above on what my next video is going to be, and that's going to be back to more training type stuff, where I'm going to be looking at heart rate zones when running, probably particularly focus on zone 2, but having a look at what some of the other zones do and what effect that has on your body in terms of aerobic and anaerobic exercise. So, hope to see you next time. Please like and subscribe.